Alpha Niner calling Science Station Hermes.
Alpha Niner, this is Science Station Hermes, repeat 555.
Roger, Hermes. All cleared. Sector Gamma Delta 4. Request clearance for landing.
That's Roger, Alpha Niner. You are cleared for landing. Switch to station control.
Switching to station control. Sync band locked.
Alpha Niner, be advised Zulu Command once you're ready for debriefing.
Roger, Control.
Sir, reading an Interim battlecruiser in Sector 7.
Alert status. Clear weapon interlocks. Alert Zulu Command to our situation.
Alpha Niner, scramble.
Roger, Control.
Moving into attack position, beginning my run now.
Sir, we lost Alpha 9. Divert full power to shields. Scramble already cracked. Shields down to 80%, sir. Stay on those shields. I need full power. Shields down to 60%. 50% and dropping. Launch emergency distress beacon now.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the official Let's Get On With It adventure of Master of Orion 2, Battle at Antares. I believe that's how it's pronounced. You may have noticed that the music went yeah, well, that's because it crackles while recording, and I believe sacrificing it to make sure it doesn't annoy anyone is worth it. So, yeah, official. What does that mean? That means I'm going to devote this entire first video to talking, to giving a tutorial of things, to explain some basic game mechanics and my history with the game. So if you folks don't want to hear that, just skip ahead. There won't be any official gameplay in this video. I'll stop before I push the button, and then in the next video we'll actually get on with playing the game. So, I won't be offended much. Go on. I'll talk to you later. It'll be okay. See you soon. You gone yet? Really? Everybody cool? Alright. So, Master of Orion 2 Battle at Antares. Developed by Simtex, I think it is. Primarily famous for, developing the Master of Orion games. What do you know? Published by Microprose, who had their hands in, lots of strategy game pies over the course of the game. I'm not quite sure if I like that analogy as I was developing it. So yeah, we've got a nice, pretty 640 by 400 resolution. I sacrificed some Windows system functions just to get this game running smoothly. Although we don't get to hear music, it's okay. Music's not important in strategy games anyway. It's all about the actual game. And Master of Orion 2 sure is a beauty. Now, the first time I played this game was last year, around the time I played Master of Orion 1 and recorded that. So I don't think I have that much experience with the game. I just reinstalled it a few days ago. I own it through Stardock's Impulse. I had a CD version as well that I got from a friend, but it was Windows only. And I wanted the DOS version due to how super awesome cool it can be patched up. But the version down there is version 140B23, which is unofficial patching. It's okay. I usually don't like to go through that, but that's okay for this game. Because, quite frankly, I don't know it well enough to bitch about it being unofficial. Alright? Alright, so... yeah, so you can buy this game from a few places. Good Old Games sells it. Stardock's Impulse sells it. It is currently being sold through Atari, who now currently owns the rights to it, Atari Incorporated. So, this game, that's right. There's a copyright holder out there who'll be pissed at you! This is what I get whenever I completely ad-lib something and don't write down any introduction notes. This is a spur-of-the-moment idea. Alright, so Master of Orion 2, don't have much experience with the game. I know bits and bobs, little pieces. Hopefully I can share some of that with you. I presume there are many people out there who know more about this game than I do, and will not refrain from instructing me on the matter. That's why I'm hoping to finish this entire game in one sitting. So any lessons you all try to impart on me, I can blithely ignore them. Right, but for those of you who know less than I do, and you'll find out whether you're one of those people, let us begin. So, new game. It's a turn-based 4X strategy game, folks. If you're not into that, well, what the fuck are you doing watching my channel? For adventure games, go watch Chronologue, the Nazi Paradox, damn it, and leave me alone. New game. Hello, new game. So, think Galactic Civilizations 2 if you watch that. Think Master of Orion 1 if you watch that. Game in which you're basically playing civilization in space. You're leading a spacefaring empire, hopefully towards galactic domination, which can be achieved through one of 2 or 3 methods. Now, the difficulty in this game ranges from tutor to impossible. For the benefit of all of you out there, I'm going to attempt hard difficulty for the first time. It doesn't give me any description of exactly what happens on hard, but I presume that it's slightly modified to give the AIs an advantage over you, the human player. Given my extensive background in strategy games, and my somewhat familiarity with Master of Magic and Master of Orion, and some knowledge about this game from what I've read, and the few things that I've done, I just reinstalled this a few days ago and just finished playing through a game just a few hours ago. So yeah, gonna go through on hard. Galaxy size ranges from small to huge. Huge, in my opinion, is like the easiest setting, because you have potentially lots of room to expand into before you get crushed by anybody. The smaller the map, the more you have to worry about people having a lack of planets, and thus targeting you. And hopefully I don't get, fucking painted into a damn corner like I was with Galactic Civilizations 2. Galaxy age varies from mineral rich, average, and organic rich. Basically how old the planets you're going to be facing. Newer planets can be found in mineral rich, which are the deadliest but can yield the greatest mineral resources. Average is a combination of that and organic rich. It's an older galaxy, the planets have calmed down, minerals tend to be fewer, but there are friendlier planets for you to expand into. For the sake of this, we'll just go ahead and keep it average. Player count can go from 2 to 8. Let's go ahead and have a full house, although we can't have every single race in the game. 8 players, it's definitely going to be fun, otherwise the huge galaxy would just be too overwhelming. And now we have tech level, ranging from pre-warp, which starts you at a single star with no ships, and even the most basic of technology must be researched before you can build even your first interstellar ship, to average, starts you at a single star on the very cusp of interstellar travel, blah 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 blah, and then you have post-warp, which was an option, I believe, added by the patch. One of the patches. And then advanced. Cool. I'm actually going to go ahead and play this one on pre-war. That's actually my favorite one. And it can give the human player an advantage if you know what to beeline, although that also depends on your race, too. If you pick somebody who's technologically retarded, you really do want to start a little bit ahead there at average. So hard, huge, average, 8 players, pre-warp. Organic rich. Nah, we'll think about it. Alright, and then you have these additional options over here. First one is tactical combat, which allows you to switch between tactical and strategic combat, whenever you pick strategic combat, you don't have any say in any of the turn-based combat that happens. You don't get to design ships, you don't get to fucking fight battles, it's just auto-calculated. Which can be quite disastrous for you. I've never played with tactical combat off. I'm not going to start now. Next, random events. Any of you who've been following me for a while, you know how much I love random events, but what the hell, we'll leave them on. I'm gonna regret that, but we'll leave them on. And third is Antaran's Attack. You might have noticed that's the theme of the game. Antarans are basically like your Civilization 4 barbarians. Only they're like Civilization 4 swordsman barbarians, whenever the best you can build is warriors. They're really advanced, they really hurt. I don't exactly know how to handle them, as I usually flee like a coward and turn them off. Whenever you have them enabled, you have a third option to win the game, which involves going to the Antaran homeworld and fucking them up. I have no idea how to do that. I know it involves some sort of dimensional gate thing, but I've never been there before. So I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that. I guess I'll enable it. But if I enable this, I'm turning on Organic Reach Galaxy H2. Alright, so, there. Organic Ridge. We're going to roll with that. Yay! And right-click on various things. Woo! Okay, that's enough. Except, and here we are to the Select Race screen. You have 13 pre-made races, most of whom are from the original Master of Orion. From your Alkari, to your Bulrathi, fucking Bulrathi! To the Darloks, hell yeah. To the Illyrians, that's an interesting suit thing, don't you think? To the Nolams, which are like gnomes. To the Humans, Terrans. To the Clagons, Clagon. Clack off. Ruffle, ruffle, ruffle. To your Mechlars, insert joke here. To your Mercian, Cylons, Sacra, Silicoids, and Trilarians. Now, the original ones are the Alkari, Bulrathi, Darloks, Humans, Clacons, Mercian, Cylons, Silicoids, I think Mechlars? I think? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Mechlars are part of that too. Alright, but we're not going to be any of these folks. We're going to be our own custom race. Cool. However, we do have to select a race picture. Don't look at that last race thing. Shh, don't look at it. Don't rewind the video and pause. It's a secret. Which basically, by whatever picture we pick is basically going to determine our models in the game. And it's also going to take that potential race out of the game. So if I were to say pick the Bulrathi picture and models, the Bulrathi could actually not be in this game. As tempting as that is, I'm going to go with my Master of Orion 1 shtick, which was to be the Darloks. Looks, well, not the most intimidating guy, but he does not need to be. Darlok picture, here we go. So, let's go ahead and clear that. Now, custom race means you have your own opportunity to determine your own special abilities. You start off with 10 picks. Each thing you can pick is assigned a value. Some of them are positive, others are negative. Now, if you wish to have more picks, you can actually pick some of those negative picks, up to negative 10, for a grand sum of 20 positive. In that case, I mean, you've got a wide variety of things, some which are not that desirable compared to cost, and others which are absolutely awesome. You've got population, which manages population growth. You've got farming, which manages the amount of food that each farmer can grow. Industry, which is the amount of production that each factory worker that can produce. Science, the amount of research that each scientist generates. Money. Money? Pirates? Money bonuses affect the amount in credits a population can be taxed. Races with monetary bonuses and there you go. Ship defense. Ship attack. I'm giving you the opportunity to pause to read this should you so desire. Ground combat. Spying, espionage. That sounds like it's for me. Government? Now, government's special, as in it can't just be radically explained away. There are 4 different types of governments. Standard is dictatorship. There's feudal. Has a ship cost reduced by 1/3 bonus. However, all research generated by scientists is reduced by 50%. And feudal populations instantly assimilate when conquered by other races. Usually whenever your people are conquered, they put up some sort of fight. You know, they don't want to be assimilated. Well, feudal situations, it's like, fuck you, we're gone. LOL. Then you have your standard dictatorship. Yay! Democracy? Boo! Democratic governments, hold on, sneeze. Alright, so democratic governments, they research faster, they get more tax revenue, but they're prohibited from annihilating captured populations. No genocide? Where's the fun in that? Come on! And I mean, the defensive agents are penalized -10 due to the emphasis on personal freedoms. Fuck personal freedom. And then you have unification. Basically like an ant colony. Defensive agents receive a spy bonus. All morale effects go out the window. It's like, fuck it. Because there's no individuality, in theory. It's all about the team, as opposed to the individual in the team. It takes a long time to convince people to join these unification governments, but they do receive a bonus to industry and food. And now you have a whole shit fuck ton of special abilities, ranging from a low gravity homeworld, weaklings, to a high gravity world, Bullrothy, aquatic races, Trilarians, subterranean races, I think that's the Nolums. You got a large home world, or rich home world, a poor home world, boo, a world covered with artifacts, ancient artifacts. You could be cybernetic. I think that's cool. Although, that 1/2 food unit each and 1/2 production unit each is interesting. Although, that requires some management there to make sure that your population grows optimally. If there's anything I love to do, it's micromanaging. And fucking babysitting my people. You can be a lithivore, which are races which consume rocks instead of eating food, and thus can subsist on any planet simply by eating the minerals. So they do not require any food whatsoever. However, that costs a whopping 10 picks to ignore the entire food mechanics. Oh my god! I mean, no. Fuck? It's pretty much what that's what I interpret that to be. Fuck. You have repulsive, which pretty much takes the diplomacy mechanic and stomps on it, and lights it on fire. Because when you're repulsive, you got jack for diplomacy. You can declare war, you can make peace. Ta-da! Whoop-de-fucking-do. In addition, you know, officers like heroes you can hire. Pain in the ass, and yeah. You can be charismatic, Boo, that's my dump stat. Lame. Lame Zors. It doubles the effect of all good diplomatic actions and has that of all negative ones, which is pretty cool, I guess. You can be uncreative or creative. We'll get to those in a minute. Tolerant, which typically regenerate or have a metabolism quite unlike that of a standard humanoid. Races that are environmentally tolerant treat all planet environments as Terran for purposes of maximum population. There are a variety of planets in Master of Orion 2, each have their own atmosphere. A tolerant basically says, fuck it. You have no atmosphere? I'm good. You have a radioactive atmosphere? I'm good. You have a toxic atmosphere? I'm good. We live in a swamp? Good. Tundra? Good. Desert? Good. Arid? Good. Terran? Duh. So yeah. And they also ignore pollution as well. Pollution is an insidious beast in this game. As you get your industries running, pollution's generated. You have to spend 1 hammer per pollution point in order to clean that shit up. It really cuts into your productivity. The ability to simply ignore that. Pollution exists in the game, and you can't completely get rid of it for a long time. So that is certainly an advantage, although I've never played as tolerant. I haven't played as several of these things. I just know how they sound, I guess. So yeah, still, that's pretty expensive at 10, and eventually you can gain the ability to terraform planets and to ignore pollution. So the tolerant pick expires. You have fantastic traders. Whoop-de-fucking-doo! You have telepaths, which is pretty cool. You gain a 25% diplomacy bonus. You can mind control enemy planets, which is awesome! You completely get to ignore the whole ground combat mechanic in the game. You're raiding a Bullrothi planet? You're weak, pussy-ass Cylon dudes? Fuck it! I'm telepathic! Well, Cylons aren't telepathic in this game. Still, theoretically assuming they are, fuck it! You're mine! And you mind control the Bullrothi, and they immediately and willingly serve you. It's great! And it instantly assimilates the population, which is wonderful. And then you have a 10% bonus to all spy actions as well. Oh, telepaths. Good times, good times. You have Lucky. Woohoo! That's not me at all. Yeah, that's not me. You have Omniscient, which is totally me. Omniscient races pretty much can ignore the entire concept of scouting. They know the entire layout of the galaxy and know when ships are transporting, and they're just like, fuck it, we already know. I don't give a fuck. You have stealthy ships, which I think is what the Darlocks traditionally start out with. One of their picks, which basically means they're masked completely from long-range sensors. They can ninja across the map unless your opponent has hacks, like Omniscient. I know. Especially against the AI, no. Transdimensional, which are beings capable of folding the fabric of space with their minds. So they travel through the galaxy at increased speed and go through combat at increased speed, and I think they're allowed to ignore hyperspace fluxes. Yeah, and then you have Warlord, which increases levels of shit. Alright, so, back to uncreative and creative. When you research technologies in this game, the technologies don't just work like your simple fucking thing, like in Civilization 4, or like a Civilization game at all. It's like, I researched the wheel, then writing, then alphabet, then aesthetics, you know, shit like that. Instead, you have these overarching themes with up to 3 choices under those themes. So we'll say quantum mechanics has potato, carrot, and bunny. That's right. Now, normally, when you're researching, you get to pick potato, carrot, or bunny. One of the 3. In the idea. That's it. You can't research any more of them. Your only hope is to trade for the other 2 if you want them from the other races. That's it. So that creates an interesting dynamic to use diplomacy, so you can get the ones you skipped. Creatives say, you know what? I'm taking potato, carrot, and bunny. Fuck you. Same research costs, get a magnificent multiplier on their beakers. It would be like, say, in Civilization 4, like brokering tax to all the AI gives such a vast return over just plain researching. But the greatest thing about creative is that you're not sharing with anyone else. You can completely ignore the diplomacy mechanic, just in terms of like researching things. You don't fucking need anybody. Now, on creative, you remember those, you can only pick one of the 3 choices standardly? Well, with uncreative, the game picks your one choice for you. The game automatically predetermines your tech tree, and so you have no options. You can only pick what the tech tree gives you and hope you can steal or diplomacy that. You hope you can use espionage or diplomacy to grab what you want. You can get a really great tech tree with uncreative. You can be totally fucking screwed. Yeah. Most unfortuitous. I played as uncreative and creative before. I've got to say, if I were creative, I've never attempted Impossible before, but I think if I got a favorable start, I could win on Impossible with creative. Creative is just no fun. It takes the whole challenge and dynamic of sifting through a tech tree, which is such a part of these types of games. Uncreative, on the other hand, puts you completely at the mercy of the gods in the early game. And in the later game, you can make for that considerably with espionage, but you've got to make sure that you can actually get the right text to boost your spies to, make sure you can fucking steal up. Or be a great military conqueror. And that also takes the fun out of it, too. It's like, you completely remove the pressure of having to pick a tech to research, and it's kind of liberating. Kind of, it actually is liberating. Alright. So what am I going to pick? My first pick here shall be, my picks I think are going to be something that I played out, I just tested out earlier, and I actually enjoyed this one. First thing I'm going to pick is Subterranean. Subterranean means your race originally, lived underground, better adapted to living underground, capable of building expansive complexes below the surface of the planet. Consequently, maximum population sizes on all worlds are increased by twice that world's size class. There are different sizes of worlds, each allowing for a different population. You can really increase the amount of people who are allowed to live on a planet by using Subterranean. Subterranean's one of those picks that allows for a vertical empire instead of a horizontal empire. So if you get shoehorned into only having a few planets, Subterranean can really help you. And if you've got a lot of planets, oh my god, your population advantage can be vast. Now you notice we only have 4 picks left, and some of these things have gone dark. But I can still pick into the negatives, I just can't click accept. You'll also notice a score multiplier. Like if I unselect that, it'll be 200%, and if I pick some negative picks, like say that, it would be ginormous. So yeah, we're going to be aquatic. Now, to balance that out, we're going to take some minus penalties. Well, no. It's Subterranean. I spoiled myself. Whoops. Now, you do notice that Subterranean ground troops receive a +10 combat bonus when defending their colonies. I'm going to take -10 ground combat. You can supplement this with tech you get later in the game. Ground combat, not... I mean, it can be a big deal, but hopefully you get... hopefully you're not fucking fighting the Bullrothi, okay? You folks remember, if you watched any of my Master of Orion videos, it's been a long time for me, but I distinctly remember getting slaughtered by a Bullrothi. That has scarred me to this day. So yeah, that's brought me up to 6 picks. Now I'm going to be aquatic. Now, aquatic races originated on ocean worlds, and therefore can more easily adapt to primarily water-based environments. Therefore, tundra and swamp worlds count as Terran environments, and ocean and Terran environments count as the best environment in the game, Gaian. There's terraforming hacks later on in the game that can improve planets. Eventually, at the end of the whole planetary terraforming tech tree, there's these super cheat hacks that allow you to pretty much turn the planets in the game into Gaian worlds. So eventually, this pick can expire. However, at the beginning of the game, from my one game playing as aquatic, I think it has a major impact in allowing you to, better environments allow for increased, everything. And it can really, the early turns matter more than the later turns. And if you can, the more powerful you can make your empire in the beginning of the game, the more resources, food, hammers, whatnot, you can immediately spin that into a vast advantage. And at 5 picks, I think that's cheap enough to warrant, being picked. So we're down to 1 pick. Well, that's not good. Let's go ahead and take -20 ship attack and -20 ship defense. We're going to be kind of crippled here on the war front, and we're going to need technological advances basically to buttress us. That leaves us with 5 picks, but we can still pick up to 4 more negatives. So what does that leave us open with, if we want more negatives? We can pick -50% population growth. Ooh, I don't know about that one. Considering that we're betting on having a high population planets, we don't want -50% population growth. These things to modify... Excuse me, don't like that either. Excuse me, damn. -10 spying combined with a poor homeworld? Are you fucking kidding me? No, you can go fuck yourself. A poor homeworld? It means your homeworld is mineral poor, producing a base 2 production per worker. Your homeworld in this game starts off naturally abundant. Poor homeworld is, you wouldn't be allowed to basically use your homeworld to build shit. It wouldn't be as effective at it. I could be uncreative. No, I have no desire to play my first hard game with uncreative. Instead, I'm going to go here to money. Now, this can be a crippling penalty from what I noticed. Basically, I ended up having to have one planet devoted to building trade goods. It was an ultra-rich planet, and that took care of my money problems. But I was perpetually money-starved throughout the entire game, and I wasn't, liberated to do what I want. But I still think this is a pretty easy pick, and, worth picking. That brings us up to 9 positive picks. I could be creative. I could break the game. Nah. Instead, I'm going to pick my favorite form of government, unification. Unification gives solid early game bonuses and allows you to completely ignore morale. Now, at the end of the game, if you pick up a bunch of the morale boosting technologies, you could, especially if you're creative, get greater advantages with the morale boosting shit, because that can also boost science. Than you would be able to with unification. However, you have to worry about morale, you have to waste precious tech picks, or espionage or diplomacy on morale. And when you conquer new planets, people are going to be like, fuck you, I don't want that, fuck that. So I'm going to be the leader and pretend to be all nice and care about the team and everything of a unified government. Shh, it'll work. I just wave my hand. It's a Soviet government, haha. Some aficionado from the fucking internet's going to come murder me now. What? Shut up, it was a joke. I know. So yes, unification. Still allows me with still gives me 3 positive picks. Now I could take off the money thing. All I need is to just select poor homeworld and I'm balanced out. But what the hell? With these final 3 picks, I can pick, a combination of maybe a large and rich homeworld. I can give myself +1 production or research. I chose large and rich homeworld last game. Definitely not Artifacts World. If I wanted that, I'd pick +1 research instead. Charismatic, that's not me. I talk a lot. Lucky, definitely not me. Omniscient ruins the fun with scouting. So what would matter more? In the long run, picking a bonus like +1 production would be more valuable. However, picking a large and rich homeworld at the beginning will allow me to get, my feet under me, especially in a pre-warp setting where my first planet's the only one I have and I don't have any colony ships or scouts. Alright. That takes care of that. Now then, my race, the Cybrixian. Everything's good? Alright. And the name of my ruler is Cybrix. And my flag, my banner color, well, we'll put a pause on that. Because as soon as I pick my flag, it'll generate the world map. In this case, I'd be pushing the button. So for those of you who watched the intro, I hope you learned a bit more about the game. Obviously, I'm going to instruct more as the game goes on, but you understand the choices open to the player now, and understand the great allowance for customization, and, well, we'll go from there. So, until later, folks, I'm Grimith. And you are you!